Hey guys, welcome back again to Dave's Dimension. Welcome back again for another stream. We're doing a little bit of a live stream, guys. Welcome to the Dimension, where we're the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. So, what are we going to do today? Well, if you haven't seen the title, or you're not looking at the bottom right there, we are going to be unboxing the Threezero Green Ranger. That's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Green Ranger from Threezero. Now, this is not your typical figure. I haven't even opened him up yet. He's still in the box, sealed. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at the Green Ranger. Now, I got a few different representations of the Green Ranger right here. We got the Lightning Collection Green Ranger with the shield, dragon dagger, Sword of Darkness with the energy effect. This is from the Hasbro Lightning Collection. One of the few that they've released. Okay? If you ever watched Power Rangers when you were a kid, the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, this was the Ranger. I don't care what anyone else says. You can argue with me. This is the man. Now, he was actually an evil ranger. He was a good teenager who was kidnapped by Rita Repulsa and pretty much brainwashed, put a spell on, and given a power coin so he could take out the other Rangers. This was one of the most craziest things as a kid that we saw. It was a full week of episodes. It was 5 episodes, a whole saga of the Green Ranger. Taking on the good Power Rangers, he even went into the command center and basically took out Zordon. Green Ranger Tommy Oliver was legit. There wasn't anything that this guy could not do, practically. He was played by Jason David Frank. Now, you guys know him. If you're a Power Rangers fan, you know of Jason David Frank. Now, he was a martial artist, really didn't have a whole lot of acting to his credit yet. But they took a chance on him, and actually the Green Ranger was only supposed to be a limited time character, but the popularity made Saban Entertainment say, hey, we got to keep this guy around. Here's another representation of Green Ranger. I got this last year. My wife had got this for me. Very cool Green Ranger statue. So you can kind of see the scale that we're dealing with, and the very badass Dragon Sword power coin, of course. I mean, he was badass. He had the shield. He had the flute, which controlled the Dragon Zord, which is yet a piece. I still need a Dragon Zord. Some way, somehow, I want to get one. So, we are going to be opening up. This is a good-sized box, guys. Let's do a comparison. I'm going to pull up the Lightning Collection Ranger to this box. Are you guys ready for this? Are you guys ready? I know I am. I got my Dragon Zord Sorry, my camera. I got my Dragon Zord Legacy Power Rangers Morpher. I got my Dragon Zord coin right there. I got my Dragon Flute ready. And, I mean, come on. If you're going to do a Power Rangers unbox, you got to be rocking the right apparel. So, are you guys ready? Let's see who's in the comment section below. We don't have anyone just yet. So, we're going to give it a couple minutes, guys. I'm sure there's a lot of other streams going on. There's a lot of chaos and insanity running out there, guys. So, we're actually going to try and get a few guests in. Let me just message one of my associates right now. So, now, obviously, you guys know, big into Ghostbusters, big into Marvel, DC. Well, I'm kind of fading out of DC right now. Big into Marvel. Love me some Star Wars. Love me some Transformers. But, I mean, come on. Green Ranger was the baddest. I mean, Tommy, he went on. He was an evil ranger, but he went on to do things that we never saw anyone else do. Tommy has had the most powers that one single ranger has ever had. Discounting, I'm not counting the Mega Force Rangers. I'm saying of someone who has passed through so many different Power Rangers powers. He was the Dragon Zord, Green Ranger, White Tiger Zord, White Ranger. Then he was the Falcon Zord, White Ranger. Okay, that's 3 right there. Then he was Zeo Ranger Red, 5. He was the Red Turbo Ranger before it was passed on to TJ. Right? Then he came back in Dino Thunder as the Black Ranger. Now, years later, in canon, Tommy now has a Master Morpher that allows him to jump between all his powers. Who knows what else the future will hold for Jason David Frank and Tommy Oliver, the Red, or the, well, pretty much everything Ranger. So, now, I'm just waiting for one of our associates, one of our friends to hop in here. I sent a link out to a few different people. Now, anyone who's watching this stream, please hit me up in the comments section below. Now, as I go through the unbox here, I have a link in the video description below, not only for SIDESHOW. I actually purchased this through SIDESHOW Collectibles, but my camera keeps fritzing. But I also have some links to our YouTube warriors. Those are other YouTubers who put out amazing content that I don't think you guys should miss out on. Check the link below in the video description to check out those amazing YouTubers. Now, this package, you don't have to solely get this at SIDESHOW Collectibles. You can also get this through BigBadToyStore.com. But the reason why I went through SIDESHOW was, one, I actually had points accumulated that got me a little bit of a discount on this. Now, usually when you purchase any of their items, however much you spend, you earn points back, which translates to dollars off that you can use on future items. Pretty cool, pretty basic, pretty awesome, if I do say so myself. Now, if anyone's watching the video right now, please drop a hi. Say something. Let me know what's going on. We got CB Hunts. Hey, CB, how you doing today? We got Dudes Nerdery. How you doing today, buddy? It was awesome hanging out with your stream earlier today. It's always a party with a Dudes Nerdery and, of course, all the other guys from 3 Men and a Monkey Lizard. So I'm just waiting for a few more people to hop on in. Just saying, Green Ranger, Power Rangers, always been a favorite of mine. When I was, I was introduced to Power Rangers when I was in high school. But I had 2 younger brothers, 9 and 10 years old, and we all used to watch Power Rangers together. Be careful, CB says, be careful with his ankles. Yeah, I watched a few videos on this, but I went with, like I was saying, I went with SIDESHOW because I had some points, so I had the equivalent to like an extra $15 I got to save on him. Dude's Nerdery says, I'm about to cut some cheesecake and watch the game movie, but wanted to see this Ranger first. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to be digging into him very shortly. Let's say hello to Canadian Blu-ray 4K, a fellow Power Rangers fan. How you doing today, Canadian Blu-ray 4K?
All right.
So like I was just started to do a little intro saying how big a Power Rangers fan I am, but I was showing off, obviously, the Lightning Collection Ranger, comparing to this box.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see just how big he really is. And, of course, what Ranger fan wouldn't be ready, just in case any shenanigans happen. I got my Morpher pulled out. We're ready to go. CB Hunts, let's see what's going on. Dude's Nerdery says, thanks for hanging out today. Glad we got to hang out. Yeah, it's always a blast. And we have CB says, I went with Andrew from Toyco. I pre-ordered the whole 6-pack set. I did a review on it. I'm definitely going to check that out. I don't know if I can do or commit to all the Rangers because, well, I don't know if I exactly have the space for them. But Tommy's the priority. I did hear and I did see that they do have a White Ranger. Oh, they do have a. My camera keeps fritzing on me. Hello. There we go. There is a White Ranger that they have out at SIDESHOW. It's on. I think they are doing pre-orders. He doesn't ship for a while, Let's actually take a look at that one very quickly. If I can get my screen to share, let's share the screen. I want to go here. There we go. Still trying to get the hang of all this. So here's Sideshow's website. That's where I went. I'll go for White Ranger. See if they have him. They're not showing him here. This is the one I was looking at. This is the White Ranger. They have him for $119, a little bit more than what this figure was. Considering this has less accessories than the Green Ranger one, but I might actually get it. I mean, it's a Tommy Green Ranger, so we might as well. Yeah, CB says he's waiting on the White Ranger next. I think they are also doing a Draken. So anyone who's ever followed the Boom Studios comic book version of Power Rangers, he's basically, if Tommy did not turn good, if Tommy stayed evil, took out Rita, and basically had the White and Green Ranger powers, became totally evil. That's Lord Draken. So let's get into this. So we're going to go back to this screen. Let's go right here. I'm going to actually tilt this down so you guys can get a better look. And please excuse the mess. The dimension is just complete disarray here. So here we are. Cutting right into this. Give you guys a little play-by-play. So Canadian Blu-ray, what are you up to today?
Not much. Dropped into Toys R Us earlier.
Yeah, I'm jealous at that. I know they just opened a Toys R Us in New Jersey, but it'll be nice once Toys R Us fully opens up. I know there's supposed to be, I think there's, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone out there, but I think they're supposed to be doing a Toys R Us kiosk in like different Macy's department stores. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay, so here we go. Get our papers. And let's just toss this to the side. Camera keeps goofing up on me. So this looks like a pretty good size. Cut this plastic open. Or maybe I don't have to cut it open. There we go. Set that off to the side. This box is sick. Let's take a look at the box, guys. Green Lane, we got the Dragon Zord power coin right there. This art is just amazing. Green Ranger branding or Green Ranger art on here. I mean, personally, I would love it if they had some kind of QR code where you could scan this and get this image, maybe use it as a wallpaper for your computer, your cell phone, or if there was a printable application to this. This is officially licensed to Hasbro. Threezero. This is my first Threezero experience. I love the texture and detail on this box here. I almost don't want to open it up, but so it says Fig 0 or Fig 030. There we go. We got the Green Ranger and all of his awesomeness. I suppose you could keep him in there as a display, but we are definitely going to crack him open. Let's see here. Anyone has any thoughts on this so far? CB says, like the packaging. Dude says, very cool. I was hoping to get them all like that, individual boxes, but I got the big one. Yeah, I've seen a few people talk about the big one and then getting the little ones. I think the little ones, like if you were to keep them in box and just display them sideways, I know some people do that with the Star Wars Black Series. Oh, we get some instructions. There we go. Very cool. That's pretty cool right there. I love that. We're going to set the box down. Okay, so we get customer product information. So it looks like this is possibly product registration. Warranty. Oh, we get a warranty on here. Wasn't that cool? Okay, so this, unfortunately, the instructions that this instruction sheet right here is nothing to us, really. What this is, they're including this with all the Power Ranger figures that they do. It shows you how you can assemble all the Power Ranger weapons together to make the massive blaster that they would use to take out the baddies of the week. But this has nothing to do with the Green Ranger, so it's kind of a waste that they threw this in. And this shows you the big box that CB Hunts was just mentioning. So it's a little bit of a waste that this is thrown in there. It would have been cool if they really threw something in that would actually complement this figure. But we'll see. We'll see how the rest of this goes. Okay, so there we go. Set the plastic off to the side. Of course, we get 7 hands. Obviously, these are 3 for the right hand and 4 for the left hand because of the various poses. We get the Dragon Dagger right here. I'm going to actually pull this out right now. Detail on this is just insane. Don't know how well that's going to come out camera-wise. I mean, this is tremendous right there. And for comparison, I mean, come on. This is spot on. I mean, I've seen the Bandai Green Ranger daggers and obviously the Hasbro Lightning. The texture on here, I mean, the sculpt on this is just top notch, guys. They did not skimp on this, not one bit. So I'm going to set that off to the side. And yes, we do get the Sword of Darkness. Whoa, a bunch of hands just fell out. We do get the Sword of Darkness right there. Good size hands. So obviously you can do the Tommy pose, which is very cool. Gel packs, we're going to throw them to the side. I love the detail on here. You can actually see the detail, the ribbing, if you will, of the gloves. Trying to get the camera to focus in on that. You can kind of see the texture right there. There we go. And you can see that all around. The stitching on here. Everything is just top notch right here. CB says, oh, wow, life-size Dragon Dagger. Yeah, I come prepared. You know, your Dave's dimension, your dimension hopping left and right. You got to be prepared for any and all probable possibilities, guys. Dude says a glorious accessory. Well, you got to have the Legacy Morpher with the Legacy Dagger. Not that lightweight generic version that Hasbro came out with. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I was fortunate to score those a couple years ago at Fan Expo. So here we go. He's actually standing pretty solid right out the box. Let's take the sleeves, little plastic sleeves off his. Oh, his leg came right off. That's what you meant, huh, CB? Okay, now. Okay, can we get this off? Or are we going to have to play around with this? We're going to have to play around with this. Got to get this off the boot. Could have made this a little easier to get that off the plastic. Okay, so we're going to slide this back on. Do I have that backwards? I think I might have, yeah. Here we go. Got that snapped on. Second verse, just like the first. as Mgo, who's a very awesome YouTuber who does a lot of toy reviews, including a lot of Transformers reviews. That's a saying that he coined, but I really like it, so I'm using it. I'm borrowing it. Come on. Let's get that back on. It's on a little ball joint right here that's a bit swivelly. Trying to get that on. There we go. So, whoa. You've heard robot fists. He's got robot feet. There we go. Nice stiff jump. There we go. Very posable. I've seen some videos where they said the arm feels a little loose. It does feel a little loose, but not too loose right here. I love the detail on this shield. This is definitely a reissue Green Ranger shield and not the original flimsy one like from the original Power Ranger series. This is more like the later appearances of the Green Ranger. Nice sturdy shield right here. I do suppose there may be ways for you to take it off, but I'm not going to venture with that. I don't want to take too many chances here. CB says, I see with his set, I finally got to show off my custom painted Marvel Legends Ranger in street gear standing next to him. Standing next to them. Okay. I'm definitely going to have to check that out. Use some Scotch tape on the ball of the joint and put the shoes back on it. It will help him stand and not lean while standing. Okay, cool. Again, here's some more detail. We got the Morpher right there. And that Morpher, I mean, I don't know how well this is going to pick up. There we go. See, Power Rangers, we got the detail on there of the Morpher. And one cool thing that they did was there's been issues with some of the toy Rangers that the Morphers were not done correctly. Hey, everyone say hi to Left Coast Graphics. He's saying, what's shaking, Dave and crew? Just doing this Green Ranger unbox. Always been a big Green Ranger fan, and I'm loving this. I mean, the detail on here. If you look on the underside here, it does look like there's a way to detach this from this strap so you can actually take the shield off. I'm not too sure. I'm going to do a little bit more research before I try to do anything like that. Because I'm sure you can take the shield off potentially and maybe put it on a Red Ranger. I am thinking of getting the Red Ranger. I just wanted to check this one out first to see if I want to go ahead and move forward on that. A YouTuber, I'm not naming names, broke a subscriber figure while he was doing a review. Oh, really? Ugh. Yeah. I don't think I would feel comfortable trying to do a review with someone else's collectibles, personally. That's just me. I love how this is covering the belt, just like it kind of did in the show, because the original show, that's where they kind of had the belt buckle for the waist. But on here, I'm loving the detail. Let's take a look at the helmet itself. We got perfectly painted dragon teeth right there. I love the gem. There is one thing I would have liked. Dude's Nerdery says, heck no, I wouldn't be able to touch another's collectibles. Yeah, exactly. That's the same with me. Same book, same thing with me. I would not want to mess around with anyone else's. Blue Sasquatch says, wasn't me. We got Oof in the building. Epic Boy. Just Epic Boy. Thank you. This figure is, I can't wait to do some of the poses with the hands. I mean, we got some basic stitching. I like the tone, I guess the reflective tone of the suit itself. Now, in person, it looks more green than what is showing up in the camera. I guess that's, just like in the original show. There were color differences right there. Blue, or everybody in the chat, what do you think about this so far? I mean, he's a pretty good size right there. Let me just see if I can position the camera up a little bit more. I do have a statue of the Green Ranger. And then, of course, we have the Lightning Collection Green Ranger in front of him. That's how much of a big size difference this is. This is just, I'm blown away by this. It would have been cool if we would have had an option for this kind of silver tone, because we saw this in the later episodes of Power Rangers in the Dino Thunder. Tommy is a Black Ranger. We saw this kind of silver tone, and I always liked this. And this was even recreated in there's a channel called Bad in the Sun that does superpowered beatdowns, and they did that with the Green Ranger helmet. But I like the detail on here. I mean, the lining on here, everything is just, I mean, this is so perfect. I mean, you can see the reflection of my ring light. You can see everything. You can see all the lights showing up from around this room are being reflected perfectly off the helmet right there. This is just bananas. Speaking of bananas, let's do some hand posings here. I also need to get the Sword of Darkness out. So let's get that out. If it will come out. There we go. Let's take a look at that Sword of Darkness. This is perfectly done. I'm trying to get the camera to focus. Take a look at that, guys. How awesome is that? I mean, the detail on here, we have, instead of a little plastic thing, we have a nice little tassel. I mean, what do you think about that, Canadian Blu-ray?
It looks pretty cool.
Obviously, I mean, he could kind of hold it like this, but it's meant for some of the other hands. See if I can get this into one of his closed hands first. There we go. Let's swap out one of his hands and put this one in its place if we can. Okay, that popped right out. You see, is there a way to... Bless you. There we go. So that's one thing to be careful. His original hand pulled this completely out. But we just needed to pop it out of that hand so we can put this one back in. Let's see, can we get a nice little pose going on? Let's see. I have to position this a little different. There we go. Let's move this camera back up a little bit. Now, mind you, I am sitting in a carpeted room. Not overly stable on the desk, mind you, but shaking the desk a little bit. He's seeming pretty stable so far. Of course, we got all the different poses right here. Obviously, this is one of the poses for playing the Dragon Dagger. Let's see how well does the Dragon Dagger fit in here. Seems to actually fit in there pretty good. Now, I do see what you mean, CB, about definitely going to do the Scotch tape on those joints to make it a little bit stiffer. Let's catch up in the chat. Holy shnikes, the Sword of Darkness. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I went for this. Not just for the Dragon Dagger and the figure, but the fact that the Sword of Darkness, and I mean the damn detail that they have on here. I mean, you could see, I mean, when was the last time you saw detail like this? I mean, if you're a Power Rangers fan and you are a Green Ranger fan, this is a no-brainer. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So a rip-off then. I have a Ninjago mech set myself, Blue says. CB, be careful with the wrist pegs. They easily they're easily to snap. Yeah, definitely going to be careful about that. But I mean, if they know that the pegs are very fragile, they should definitely throw in a couple. I mean, they didn't skip on anything else. They could have thrown in a few extra pegs just for longevity. CB says a couple of mine were turning white while taking pictures. A couple of yours, were turning white while taking pictures? Go Power Rangers, Oof says. Blue Sasquatch says, go, Ninja, go. Everybody's having a little bit of fun right there. Yeah, Ninja Turtles is always fun. I would love to see a nice little fight between Green Ranger and maybe a couple of the Ninja Turtles. That's always fun. What we got here? We got Fabulous Disaster. How you doing, Fabulous? We're just doing a Green Ranger unbox right here. Yeah, definitely the ankle joints do see a bit loose. I do have some Scotch tape. I'm going to definitely try that trick. But, I mean, just the figure alone, I mean, he looks badass. I can't wait to try some other poses. I'm definitely going to get a stand for him. I've seen some stands on Amazon. I'm definitely going to do some stands because I wanted to see if I can get some more action-like poses on him. You know, that's why I was thinking of getting the Red Ranger one because I would love to do a little fight sequence between him and the Red Ranger. I mean, we got some good joints here. Kind of have the Jean-Claude Van Damme thing going on right here. Almost. Not perfect, but pretty close. Using the Sword of Darkness is like a nice little tripod stand right there. But yeah, there's a lot of different things we can kind of do with this. And I love how we have soft goods for the belt and the scabbard here. So the scabbard will actually bend around and twist depending on the moves. You can have it over his hip like that. But I'm loving this so far. Got some nice satisfying cranks in here. Take a nice little look right there at the face. So what do you guys think about this? On a scale of 1 to 10, what's everyone think about this so far? CB says, I know I'm a huge fan of the Power Rangers. I chose this one over the Xbox Series X. And those are not cheap. Yeah, I've been a Green Ranger fan for ages, so I mean, one of these days I do want to meet Jason David Frank. He has made it to Buffalo a few times before for the Nickel City Comic Con, so I'm hoping if and when we ever have one of those again, that I'll get the chance to meet up with him. Those that know me know I'm part of the Buffalo Ghostbusters. They actually got to pose with him a couple years back. And he actually got to wear one of their proton packs. So that would definitely be cool if I could meet up with him and maybe do some fun poses, some cosplay stuff. Oof says that was bless you in German. Thank you, Oof. Okay, dude says, what's up, Fabulous? The wrist peg, the small part with the gloves go, not the one that goes in the arm. Okay. Okay. Now that you have to buy all that, Dave, rabbit hole has opened. Oh, no.
Yeah, looks like your camera's frozen.
Huh?
Your camera's frozen.
There we go. I'm here.
Okay.
Still got to tweak a few settings with my Razer camera. Sometimes it freezes if it's not focused on a moving person. But it's a really great camera. I highly recommend it. Oh, you got Lord Draken. Nice. I technically I have two Drakens. I have the white suit one like you have there. And I also have the Lord Draken Evo 3 set.
Yeah, I have that one as well.
I got that one because there was a defect on. I had the Red Ranger, the In Space Red Ranger, and Astronema 2 set. The paint apps on it were complete trash. I sent pictures and wrote it to Hasbro, and they sent me the Evo. See here. I say out of the 6, he's a 7.5 out of 10. Yep. Yeah, that's the one I have. Not qualified. Dude says not qualified to rate on scale. I think it looks like it brings tons of joy and has rad accessories, and the green is eye-popping. It definitely is. Oof Oof says, you buying Secret of the Ooze Turtles Blue? But yeah, this is, I mean, in person, this is just, I mean, the gold on the shield and on the biceps and the trim. Everything just, I mean, this looks fantastic. There are no peg holes, in case anyone's wondering. There are no pegs. No pegs on him. So I am going to be getting a 1/6 scale stand to hold him upright just in case things are moving around. Definitely got to play around with these gloves. I love that they give us so many different accessories. We have a punch. Obviously, we have a hand that's meant to play the dragon flute. We get a couple different poses. Obviously, this is one for holding the flute in one hand and then playing the flute on the other hand. I'm going to have to play around with these. Let's see what else is going on. No, I'm good for turtles. Maybe a few foots. Toonfoot and Mousers are on NECA till January 4th. So if anyone's into the NECA turtles, Oof Oof is dropping some knowledge on us. Let's see here. That pulled right out. There we go. Okay, that will not fit that one. Let me see if I can find the right hand that will hold the flute. Well, that one. Yep, looks like we got a winner right there. Let's just pop that right back in. I'll move the camera back down so we got a nice little pose with holding both. Let me see if I can do that infamous pose when he crosses both. Yeah, I'm going to have to play around with this. I want to recreate some of the scenes where there's one where he crossed both weapons and shot out some green energy blasts. I have a few different apps I use, like on my iPad. I'm going to try and recreate some energy effects here to do some photos, some fun photography. I'm not a pro like some of our fellow YouTubers out there. I know Dude does a lot of photography, and a few weeks ago I was watching one of his streams where he showed off this some new equipment, some new tripod he got for some of his camera gear. Pretty awesome. I'd buy if I was finding. I will not quite making that out. Well, he needs someone to fight off, Dave. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm thinking with the Red Ranger, because Red Ranger and Tommy also had a little bit of a back and forth between those two. I figured that would be a good one to fight, because especially with his sword, the Red Ranger sword. But I might need to spend some money on some Marvel Legends. And of course, thanks to Dude, he showed off the unboxing of his Fantastic Four collection. So I might have to lean towards that direction. That was a pretty awesome stream. Anyone in here who maybe missed out on that? I'm actually going to pull it up right now if I can. He did an awesome unboxing stream yesterday, and he did an awesome unboxing stream today, in fact. And I'm actually going to pull that up right now. I'm going to throw that into the chat very quickly here, guys. Now, this was a very, very awesome stream he did earlier today, featuring a few YouTubers and some faces, a face or two you might not have seen before, including Left Coast and someone who's been around for a while, but hasn't really popped up in some of the circles that I've been following. So it's nice to see his face. We have Cade, or Comic Cade. I just put the link in the chat below, so go ahead and check out that stream. He basically did unboxing of the entire wave, with the exception, it was the entire wave, including Dr. Doom, of the Fantastic Four figures. They were pretty damn awesome, in fact. Did he? I did not watch it. Well, oof, you got to watch it. You definitely have to watch it. So there it is in the chat below. Go ahead and click that link. Save it, bookmark it for later if you can't watch it right now. But it's definitely worth a watch. You don't want to miss out. Dude's always got some amazing things, amazing streams going on. I mean, probably 3 Men and a Monkey Lizard, Night Owls, you name it. This guy claims it. I mean, he just has an amazing collection you don't want to miss out on. He also has a stream tomorrow where he's actually going to be doing some Black Series. I want to show you guys that as well. There we go. So, yeah, he's got a little stream going on tomorrow, I believe at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So he's going to be doing Black Series and Marvel Legends unboxing. You got to make those offerings to the toy gods. And then he's going to be doing an open mic format for anyone who wants to jump in. And speaking of anyone who wants to jump in, of course, we got Canadian Blu-ray 4K here. Is there anyone else who would like to jump into the chat and let's talk some stuff? We got Nathan Bowden just jumped in the chat. Now this is an amazing figure. I mean, I can't really say it's a figure. It's a opposable statue. That's what this really is. But also, looks like the 4 arms slipped down. I can push that back up. So that may be a reoccurring thing. CB, have you had issues with the upper arm braces sliding down? I just noticed that. I can just push it back up, and he's back to where he was. Oof says, CB, have a good night. Okay, looks like he's off. Okay, yep. He says, okay, fam, I'm about to head to sleep. I have to get up early in the morning. This was an awesome unboxing of Green Ranger. I appreciate you jumping in, CB. You're always welcome here. So they kept falling down. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I can push them back up. It's not like they're sliding down on every single little thing. Now, anyone who wants to jump in, I'm actually going to put a link in the description below for anyone who wants to hop in and join the stream. We can discuss Power Rangers. We can discuss Matrix Resurrections. I saw that this week. I have a few opinions of my own about that. They may not be the expressed opinions of everyone else, but I have my own opinions. Okay, so I just threw the link in the chat below, so anyone who wants to hop in, feel free to do so. I still have yet to watch Book of Boba Fett, so we're not going to discuss that. What was that? Canadian Blu-ray thumbs up. Did you
Yeah, I
enjoy
watched it this morning.
Yeah, I know. Dude's Nerdery saw it last night. I think he stayed up and did a stream party with Left Coast. I was on an earlier chat with Tasman Taylor. Rebels does his Wednesday every his Wednesday stream every Wednesday. They were discussing it. Dino popped in and he actually gave Book of Boba Fett a 5 out of 10. He said. So that's going to be interesting to see. You know, everyone's got their own opinions and takes. What we got going on? Let's catch up. CB says, good night, Blue. Good night, Oof Oof. Get some rest, CB. We'll catch you on the next one. Nathan says, Christmas was fantastic. How was your Christmas? Dude said, Matrix Resurrections was a movie I saw. Yeah, I mean, personally, to me, it didn't feel anything overly fantastic. Speaking of fantastic, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, the Nathan Bowden Show, that you can find. You can check him out every Tuesday evening with Tasman Taylor and America's Most Wanted as they do their country fried wrestling.
That's right.
And also, the Nathan Bowden Show also has their own merch store that you definitely want to check out for any birthdays, holidays. Valentine's Day is coming up. What says love better than a Nathan Bowden mug or T-shirt?
Yes.
Right?
Correct. And get it while it's hot, because I might be changing it up.
You might, or you are.
I probably will.
Don't be so coy.
I've seen Cobain's using T Public, and I think I like their site better.
Dave's to mention once he decides to on something a more, I don't know, iconic or something that really represents the channel to the extent, he may be looking into doing some fun stuff like that.
Yeah,
maybe at least some stickers or pins or something. I don't know. So by the way, anyone who's watching this either live or on a replay, check the link I just dropped in the chat below. That is that is the link to the Nathan Bowden channel, so you want to check him out. This guy covers everything from wrestling to movies to Gundams, you name it. This man claims it, so you want to check him out.
I at least try. I don't know.
Blue says Nate lurking in the shadows. That's how he does it.
That's right.
So, what do you think about this this figure? I know you can appreciate Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, is that what's that? A 12-inch figure?
This is it's a 1/6 scale.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably about a 12-inch figure, I would say.
I think isn't 1/6 usually 1/6 usually 12?
I want to say so because I mean, Lightning Collection is a 6-inch figure.
Yeah.
And he stands. Camera, come on, work camera. You know you want to work. There we go. So I mean, like he's like, his helmet hits right at the bottom of the buttocks. So yeah, he's pretty small. So I'd say, about two figures. So that'd be about 12 inches right there.
Okay.
But yeah, this is.
But no, that's nice.
I mean, did you see the detail on the sword here?
Yeah, he's got the dragon sword and the dragon dagger.
You got the sword of darkness and the dragon dagger, and they got a real string and tassel here. So
yeah, does the shield come off?
The shield does look like it does come off.
Okay.
Back upside down, you can kind of see that it looks like there's a peg slot right there that can come off. But I do know that they are selling the Red Ranger. You get the Red Ranger by himself, and then you have another one with the shield.
Oh,
which
nice.
makes me wonder, why should you spend extra money to get that if the shield on him can come off?
Yeah.
And we can kind of have that one episode when Tommy takes the shield off and gives it to Jason. What was that? I think it was a episode called Gung Ho, where they had to work together, even though they were butting heads.
Mm.
I'm a Ranger head from way back, okay? So I
I mean,
remember
I like Rangers. I used to watch Rangers when being a 14-year-old teenager it wasn't cool to do.
But that shield, though, man, that shield.
That shield is chef kiss.
Now
Wow.
it's not Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This was the later shield that he would wear when they had the Green Ranger in the Dino Thunder series when Tommy was the Black Ranger. There was an episode where he was badly hurt, and in his mind, he had to battle his past selves.
Okay.
It was Theo, White Ranger, and Green Ranger, and that's when they had him with this heavier shield, proper shield, instead of that little flimsy fabric one. But he had the silver trim on the helmet, but they don't have that there. He also wore the same shield in Power Rangers Megaforce. A big legendary battle. So he showed up there and he wore that shield. And he's worn this shield also in the Superpowered Beatdown, Bad in the Sun.
Yeah.
So he's worn it a few times. Yep.
No, that's cool though.
Yeah, Oof says 1/6 scales, my guess. Yep. Is it Hot Toys, right? No, it is not Hot Toys. This is Threezero.
Threezero, yeah.
Yep, Threezero. The boxes, the box art alone.
I mean, I it's hard to even decide. You can't even get rid of the box.
Basically, what I might actually do is, after I do a bunch of posing and stuff with him, I am gonna get a stand for him, but for the most part, I might keep him in the box so that he doesn't get all dirty and dusty, and I'll take him out periodically.
You could do, suggestion, is if you do the box, if you keep them on the shelf or whatever, put the box behind them, yeah. And if you get more, then you can have boxes kind of separating them.
Yep. Dude says, heading out, going to watch The Game. Yeah, that's a great movie. The Game. It's anyone who hasn't seen it, I'm sure Canadian Blu-ray's seen it. Canadian Blu-ray 4K, the big movie master of the YouTube universe. The Game was, if memory calls, basically it's his brother is played by Sean Penn, and this guy is on hitting his whatever birthday, and he's one of those people it's hard to buy a gift. So what happens is there's this game that's supposed to be immersive. Okay, think like if someone wants to be a spy, then there's these actors, there's this company that comes together and they try and create real world situations, but it's all fake supposedly. Well, it kind of blurs the line of, is this real or is this not? What is going on with my life kind of situation. It's a really good thriller. It's a really good thriller with Michael Douglas. You definitely should check it out. In 1997, I was graduating in high school.
Me too.
Okay. So I remember when that movie came out. But it's all in jokes. Dude says, cheers. Yep. Take care, dude. Enjoy the movie and enjoy your last day and a half of or your last 24 less than 24 hours of his freedom, because he had mentioned that his wife and daughters were coming back from a little vacation.
Yeah.
What he's doing is one more stream tomorrow at 1:00.
Man, I've never seen someone stream so much in such a short amount of time. Like every time, it seemed like he would wake up, start streaming, and probably take a nap or something, and then go stream again, or get food, and then go stream again, or go on somebody else's stream.
Yep.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, but let's be honest, he puts on some pretty good streams.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I've been in a couple of them.
There you go. Nobody wants to see my gut.
Everybody wants to see mine. Everybody wants to see mine.
Everybody wants to rub the Buddha.
Yep. I'm gonna start charging on the new year.
Have either of you seen Matrix Resurrections?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about it, but I'm not gonna be spoilery. Okay.
Well, I gotta go anyway. But I just wanted to say, hey,
No,
uh,
appreciate you as always.
what's going on, Canadian Blu-ray? Good seeing you. And have a good stream.
Will do. You have a good one and enjoy work.
Thank you.
Make
Peace.
that paper.
Try.
Catch you later. So I saw now Canadian Blu-ray. Did you see Spider-Man?
Yep.
How would you rate it in as far as the movies of 2021?
You mean like out of 10 or?
Well, would you say it was your number one movie? Top 5?
I would say maybe number 2.
What's number 1?
Oh, come on. You got to know what number 2.
Ghostbusters Afterlife, right?
Yep.
Notice both of those are Sony movies.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Sony had an amazing year this year. I know some people were kind of criticizing Venom, but still, considering the one, we didn't have a whole lot of movies this year because of the pandemic. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yes, I said the word YouTube. You're not going to do anything to me. I mean, it's pretty much they, look at Sony. I mean, they definitely did a profit. They, could Venom 2 have been better? Yes, it could have. Could have been worse. It could have been The Eternals, which I have yet to see.
Yeah, same here.
And I will be watching that before I see the new Home Alone movie. I have no interest in watching that monstrosity. I have no interest. Now, Spider-Man No Way Home. I've talked spoilers before, and I mean, what was your favorite part of the movie?
I probably the bridge scene.
Which bridge scene are you talking?
Where Dr. Octopus showed up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, on that that freeway kind of a scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I mean, there's just so many scenes in there. I mean, seeing the Peters, the Spider-Men together.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there's that one scene where they kind of all pointing at each other, which is that meme.
Yeah.
That famous meme where you see multiple Spider-Man pointing at each other. I mean, Blue says no spoilers. Well, I think the cat's out of the bag by now, Blue. I mean, let's be honest. Nobody ever thought that we would see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield show up in a Spider-Man movie as either a cameo or even as their original versions.
Yeah.
I mean, that was so far. That was so impossible. There was no way anyone can fathom it. That there was no way nobody would even say, could say that would ever happen in a million years. We were more likely to get another Ghostbusters movie before that would ever happen, which we did. I mean, to see them show up, I mean, I felt that they kind of wrote Andrew Garfield's Peter, they definitely downgraded him tremendously from the original that he played.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't seem as confident. He seemed very depressed and definitely seems like someone who's been in therapy. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but he didn't. In the Amazing Spider-Man movies, he was so sure of himself. He was very quick to make jokes. This was, he felt like, if you saw, I'm sure you saw Into the Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah.
He felt like Peter B. Parker. Okay. Andrew Garfield came off like him. Okay. I just happen to have him right here, believe it or not. Because I was on another stream earlier, and me and G-Force both pulled up Peter B for reference at the same time, so he was still sitting over here. But that, like, if they did a live action adaptation of Into the Spider-Verse, I think Andrew Garfield or Toby would be good. Toby would have to play him a little bit different, though. You know, I say Toby because he was the first Spider-Man in the movies. He's not our first live action Spider-Man. I believe, what was the first one? I want to say George Hammond. I'm probably wrong. I gotta type this in. I gotta check now. I'm bad. It was Nicholas Hammond. I was close. I had the last name right. And he technically did do a movie, but it was more like a TV movie. Mm-hmm. He was our first Spider-Man, but I think Toby, because he's older, obviously, than Andrew Garfield. He's been around. He looks like he could play that kind of a seasoned Spider-Man, so to speak. But I think Andrew Garfield would play the character better. But we'll see what happens. I mean, who knows? Maybe we will get a live adaptation of Into the Spider-Verse, or at least some version of it. I mean, after everything was kind of reset at the end of this movie, the question is, now as far as let me ask you this, with the reset, with everyone forgetting now that Peter is Spider-Man, do you think the other Peters will remember visiting this dimension?
I probably not, because everything was, like you said, reset. And
see, I think they will. And this is my reasoning. One, the spell was to make everyone, at least in our dimension, forget that Peter Parker and Spider-Man are the same, right? Second, remember the scene when Strange hits Peter with the astral projection blast?
Yeah.
Peter was still able to control his body, even though he wasn't consciously doing it. It was his spider sense that was pretty much doing it.
Yeah.
So if you look at it this way, it's not necessarily that spider sense makes you impervious to magic. It kind of heightens, or it allows, or the spider sense exists on a different level than than most magic does.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me think that, kind of, as far as the other Spider-Man, that's the exception to the rule. At least that's how I view it. You know? Also, I mean, they did make changes to the villains. I mean, they cured Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
So they cured Norman Osborn. They cured Electro, the Lizard. I mean, there was all these characters who, and I mean, even Doc Ock had the best redemption. I mean, to see him, one, he was cured, and to a sense, and it's not to say that he wouldn't have a relapse. I mean, if that circuit board gets destroyed again, he's back to being who he was.
Yeah.
Unless he has those arms removed, then that wouldn't be a danger anymore. I mean, who knows? Yeah. That could potentially happen. Now that Norman Osborn's a good guy again, he might, maybe those events don't lead Ock to doing what he did, or who knows. It's going to be very interesting to see if Norman Osborn isn't killed. Okay? Because it depends at what point in time was Norman pulled out from the Tobey Maguire universe.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know when Doc Ock was pulled, because it was right when his sphere was going to take over, that supernova was going to take over everything, because he's asking Peter, "What did you do with my machine?" Because obviously he's at that point in time.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens since these villains were cured. They're not the exact same mindsets now. This basically creates multiverse for those other universes, right? Because obviously the Peters remember everything that happened. Because obviously Toby's Peter is further down the line. He wasn't removed at the same point in time that obviously Norman and Doc Ock were removed from. And it'd be interesting why, like, who else should have, I mean, as far as like the whole, okay, the people who knew Peter Parker were pulled into our world, right? Does that mean we had more than one Aunt May? Does that mean that Venom from Tobey Maguire's world was in our world? Because we had Sandman. Mm-hmm. We just didn't have Topher Grace, his version of Eddie Brock. So, I mean, it's, brings up a lot of different questions. I mean, it'd be interesting. And I was blown away by the fact that Monday morning, all over social media, all over the news, people are writing campaigns that they want an Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man 3 now. I mean, I would love to see that happen. From what I hear, Andrew Garfield would be open to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Sony would definitely have to put some ground rules in place on their part. They will have to say, okay, listen, we understand, they personally, I think they should admit blame to Andrew Garfield, apologize to him, say, okay, listen, we know that, one, there was the script. Two, there was, well, we got someone else jumping in the chat here. What's up, Stargates? How are you doing today? Yeah, we were just doing a Green Ranger unbox. This is the Threezero Power Rangers Green Ranger 1/6 scale figure that we did an unboxing of, and we're also talking movies right now. We're talking we're talking the Spider-Man No Way Home, and I might even talk a little bit of Matrix. I hope you're doing well. Gap Stargate is someone I actually follow on Twitter through a few Twitter groups that I'm part of. Met him through there's Mr. Maria and a few others that I've come across. Amazing content. He's got his own channel and just amazing stuff. You don't want to miss out. Doing good. How are you guys doing? We're doing good. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, it is. I mean, this is the detail on the weapon. I mean, the accessories right here. You can kind of see. Let me see if I can get that. Detail on a Sword of Darkness alone is just insane. Of course, we got the Dragon Dagger right here. Let's see if I can get the focus. There we go. It's an amazing figure. But, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, because personally, in the Spider-Man movies before the MCU, it seemed like for some reason Sony went the route, okay, Spider-Man 1, okay, we need to have one villain. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, Spider-Man 2, let's have two villains. Because they had Doc Ock, but they also kind of had Harry as kind of starting to turn villain. Which really wasn't a surprise because, it happens in the comics. He wants revenge. And then, of course, we have the third one where we have how many villains? Let's take okay, because this is the third movie, let's have three villains. We have Harry and his version of the Green Goblin, although he does have a redemption. We have Sandman, and we have Venom. Just because you have a certain number put at the end of your movie doesn't mean you have to have that many villains. And, I mean, when you have that many villains, you have to explain, you have to give us some background on those characters. And I think you're taking away from the story. You know, same thing with Amazing Spider-Man. I froze again. Same thing with Amazing Spider-Man. We had the Lizard. I loved the first one. Even though when I first saw the trailer for Amazing Spider-Man 1, I was completely against it because I did not like how the suit looked. I think the suit looked ridiculous. But it grew on me. You know, like the gold lens for the eyes and just the whole concept of the suit. I didn't feel... I'm like, this isn't my Spider-Man. But when I went and saw it, I enjoyed it. It's actually one of my favorite Spider-Man movies of all time, actually. Spider-Man 2. Amazing Spider-Man 2, we had Electro, and then we had Harry become the Goblin. Okay, again, we're splitting. Okay, we have a second movie, we need to have more villains. That's not necessarily true. And with some of the writing, it just felt like they were kind of trying to force things down a certain way. The deleted scenes, I don't know, I'm sure you saw the deleted scenes for Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Where they have Peter's father. Some of that just felt a little unnecessary. Like, okay, where were you going to lead it? Were you going to have Peter and his father working together? You know, was his father going to be developing new gadgets and suits for Spider-Man to use? You know, those are questions I would have liked to see more of, but I just felt like they're trying to make it more complex. You know? That, oh, his father faked his death after all these years, and his father's been in hiding. No matter what kind of secrets or what kind of dangers you have out there, this is your son. You kind of left him alone. And when you knew, I mean, come on. He's a scientist, so obviously he knew when Spider-Man showed up that it had to have been Peter, because only Peter's blood could unlock that genetic experiment that he and Norman Osborn ran. So you can't tell me that he waited all this time to show up until now. Some of it just didn't make sense. Some of the writing felt a little goofy, a little hokey, but I'm glad that all the Peters had a redemption. I kind of felt bad for Garfield. Obviously, this is not the end of Holland's. This is not the end for him. This is just the end of this trilogy. We're going to be seeing a lot more for him down the line, definitely. And plus, out of all the Spider-Men, he really can do a lot of those stunts himself. I've seen videos of him on YouTube where he does backflips and cartwheels on his own. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next. But definitely, Spider-Man No Way Home, one of my favorites. I even have to say I think it's probably one of the best movies. I mean, it's tied right up there with Ghostbusters Afterlife. I would almost say it surpasses Ghostbusters Afterlife, just for the sheer fact that we've had a lot of saturation with Spider-Man over the past 10 or 15, almost 20 years?
Mm-hmm.
You know? But we haven't had that with Ghostbusters. So, I mean, if someone hasn't had a good meal in, months, and you give them one good meal, they're going to think that it's beyond amazing. It's perfect. Was Ghostbusters Afterlife amazing and perfect? Yes, it was. But also you had things come together in such a fashion that it's lightning in a bottle. Sony and Marvel working together for the past couple of years. I mean, this was Tom Holland's appearance as Spider-Man. So right now he kind of has the record. Stargate is asking, do you think Spider-Man No Way Home is going to give Doctor Strange a boost at the box office? I want to say so. I want to say, given the end credit scene, I would say so. But we have some other factors we need to take into account. Had to resend that. I had to resend that. I was talking to a friend on phone. Of course, can't understand my southern accent. Oh, but to answer the question, there's a lot of factors. We have to worry about everything that's going on with the world. Could we have things shutting down again? That's always a possibility. I hate to say that, but that's a possibility. I live in New York State, and they brought back the mask mandate where you have to wear masks indoors in public places, at least until the 15th, and they're going to revisit it. Buffalo, New York, they just had in the news that they had another record, another daily record hit today. So, I mean, we really don't know. I know a lot of people are getting hit with that recent strain. Stuff like that can really cause things to take a back seat. So we'll see what happens. As someone who's worked in movie theaters years ago, streaming services are not always the best thing. Because let's be honest, anyone who's ever worked in a movie theater knows that they make their money not off the ticket sales necessarily, but off the concession stands. I mean, where else are you gonna spend $6-7 for one damn hot dog? It's not always the best tasting hot dog either. Let's be honest. They make a lot of their money off concessions. Do they make money off ticket sales? Yes. I think the Doctor Strange being in Spider-Man is not necessarily going to boost it, but that end credit scene that was pretty much a trailer or teaser for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, that was the big push for it. And also the fact that it has a multiverse in the name, people are hoping maybe we'll get a few more glimpses into the Marvel multiverse, which would also include Spider-Man and the different versions of Spider-Man. Who knows? Maybe we can even get different versions of Venom. We don't know. We do know that the Venom symbiote actually has senses throughout the multiverse. That's how he's, when he teases at the end of Venom 2 to Eddie. He says, "I will show, I can show you a glimpse of different things," and that's when he wakes. He opens up that knowledge, and that's when the multiverse snatches him and Eddie. Obviously, because if the symbiotes exist on a different level, they can sense each other. So he probably locked on to the Tobey Maguire symbiote and knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man, and that's obviously why they're yanked into that other universe at that point in time. At least that's my theory. Stargate says, yeah, the hot dog still tasted good at the theater, but there's nothing like going to one for a great movie. Yeah, of course. I mean, I know a lot of people this past year were pushing, hey, I want this movie to go to streaming so I can watch it at home so I don't have to do this. Yes, there's convenience, but also the movie theaters are not going to be... Excuse me. Sorry, guys. The studios are not going to be making the money through that. They're going to make more money through the movie theaters than they are through the streaming services. Unless the streaming services somehow give them a boatload of money, I don't see that really happening. But yeah, I'm excited to see Multiverse of Madness. I was thinking that Wanda would be kind of like a nemesis and not exactly on the same page as Strange. So it was kind of cool to see that scene where they actually met up and where he's like, "Oh, I need your help." And also, one big laugh I had to Spider-Man was Strange is not the Sorcerer Supreme anymore. He's second banana to Wong, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. Strange was snapped away for 5 years, so someone else would have to step in. So obviously Wong was the next choice. So I kind of like that. I'm going to be really curious to see what really happens. And speaking of Strange, one of my Christmas gifts from Mrs. Dimension. She got me the No Way Home Doctor Strange. Now, I saw the new one, and I can see the sling ring looks brown in this one, whereas in the other one it looks gold. So the question is, do I want to get the new one? Or do I want to try and do a little gold dry brushing and do a little paint mod on his sling ring, just to give him a little bit more little bit more of a movie accurate look right there. I think it's pretty good sculpt of the face, though. I love that they gave us some accessories with the spells, but we'll see what happens. Let's see. Stargate says, like, why doesn't Hollywood ramp up the drive-ins? That's a good way considering what's going on in the world. It is. It so is. Here in Buffalo, New York, we have one drive-in that's left. The Transit Drive-In by closer towards Lockport, New York. Okay, this is like our last existing drive-in, and they were doing business all throughout everything that's going on in the world. They had several screenings of Ghostbusters and a bunch of other classic movies. They had the group that I'm a part of, the Buffalo Ghostbusters, come out. And we did some fundraising out there because our main charity is Toys for Tots. They had us out there a bunch of times throughout the year when they were doing showings of Ghostbusters. One thought I even had were some of these big theaters that were shut down. Obviously, they can't have people inside. Some of those movie theaters that have massive parking lots, they could have converted some collapsible screens, sold tickets to do, kind of like makeshift pop-up drive-ins. That's one thing I wondered about. They could still use their lobby for concessions, but then everyone would be in their cars and they would be watching movies outside. Some of the drive-in here, they actually did. They were teleplaying concerts and also football games. So big, massive tailgating. That was something that they were doing. I would really love to see drive-ins make a. Sorry about that. I would really love to see them make a big comeback. And I think they really should. I mean, some of these movie theaters should think, hey, maybe we should start looking into the drive-ins. Because, I mean, a drive-in theater it takes a lot less equipment than it does for a movie theater to run. They use digital projectors just like regular movie theaters do nowadays. So it's not that far-fetched. It's just that, I mean, some areas, weather-wise, you may not have them running as much as they would through summer, spring, fall. Excuse me. I was up really early this morning, so I apologize. Stargate says, I don't know if I trust Wanda that much, but at least she did what she did. Yeah. I think Wanda is coming to terms with herself and her abilities. I mean, the last time we saw her before this was she was studying the Darkhold at what appeared to be Bruce Banner's cabin. Okay. It looked like Bruce Banner's cabin from the Hulk movie before Mark Ruffalo, the one with Ed Norton. That's what it looked like. So she was there, and she was astral projecting herself and studying the Darkhold very much like how Strange was studying. So obviously, I mean, I would dare to think that she could be a Sorcerer Supreme or rival a Sorcerer Supreme very easily with her powers. Now that she's actually learning and understanding her powers, because she really didn't know spells, she really didn't know magic. She just knew like she could manipulate things in Ultron. And she started to learn that she was using it more like a reflex, like you focus, like when you're an athlete, you practice. Now that she knows what magic truly is, and especially with that battle between her and Agatha, it'll be very interesting. And I would love to see if Agatha makes a reference or a cameo or appearance in the Multiverse of Madness. Who else are we having there? We know. I mean, I know everyone keeps saying Mephisto, but please no. Everyone every time something's happening, oh, it must be Mephisto. Like he had a theory that wasn't really Doctor Strange, that it was Mephisto in No Way Home. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I love that they gave us the dark version of Doctor Strange. in that trailer. I love that he was Dark Strange. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens and how they move forward with it. What do you think, Canadian Blu-ray?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, that's for sure.
Stargate says, very cool Doctor Strange figure. Yeah, I was working on these, and my wife actually helped me find some of these figures. So I got the full What If collection, and I'm going to be doing an unbox eventually soon. I'm going to break them up into separate videos and do a separate video for the Build-A-Figure for the Watcher. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. I got a whole backlog of stuff that I like. Got me some Black Series I still have to go through. Got a ton of Black Series. I also have to figure a date and time to do this Batman Lego build. This was a Christmas gift I got from my wife's family. So I've got a lot of figures and some other stuff. I might even do a little book review. I'm reading this book right now called Slow Horses, Mick Herron. This was actually recommended by my wife's aunt because she knows that I'm into a lot of, I like spy stuff, but I also like kind of comical takes on things. You know, like any kind of like for example, I'm a big fan of Red Dwarf. Okay, sci-fi, but goofy sci-fi. You know, something that has a comical take on things. Like one of my favorite movies from the 90s is actually The Last Boy Scout. Okay, Bruce Willis, Damon Wayans, sorry. It's an action movie, but it's mostly a comedy. You know, that's one of my favorites. Also, I got another book this Christmas. This is basically, it's like it says right there in the title, Violet Ramus Steele. She is the daughter of Harold Ramis. She wrote this book about her father and about everything, because he wasn't just a direct. He wasn't just a actor. He was a director and writer. So I'm going to be looking forward to reading this when I'm done with that book. So I might actually do a few book reviews here. So the dimension is growing. And please excuse the mess back here, guys. I've been rearranging things. During another stream, I explained I kind of moved things around here because I actually work from home. Right here is where my work computer usually is, but I moved it down so we can get a better view of the dimension. I've been doing some rearranging. Going to do a few other things here. But, yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. What are you, Blu-ray, what are you hoping to see in Multiverse of Madness? What are you, if you were to hope to see, is there a character you want to see make an appearance? Is there a scene from the comics that you might want to see make an appearance?
I know it's probably a long shot, but maybe something to do with the X-Men.
I heard a lot of rumors about that like the Multiverse of Madness could open. This is how, we get introduced to the X-Men in some shape or form. Because we know, we don't actually have mutants in the MCU, at least not that we know of. Because we know that Wanda and Pietro were experimented on, so they weren't natural. We don't know much about their father or their mother in this version of the multiverse. Maybe there is a Magneto. We just haven't met him yet. Or, who knows? He could have been held in prison, or maybe he was whisked away to a different dimension. We don't know. Maybe Wanda will come across, another version of her father who is a mutant. Maybe this opens it up. Who knows? We don't know yet. We do know that, Doctor Strange thing, the Peter Parker No Way Home, kind of made things like, okay, we didn't think that this would ever happen, but now it has. So that makes us wonder, okay, what else is going to happen now? Now that we know that we can see past versions of a character or alternate versions, Multiverse of Madness, could we get a glimpse of Patrick Stewart? I know there was rumblings about that. Could we get a glimpse of and maybe not Ian McKellen, but maybe Michael Fassbender. He's still young enough that he could be, he could be playing a Magneto, or we might get a completely different version. Maybe we get a white-haired, version of Magneto that looks more like The Witcher. I mean, we don't know. Could we get, Onslaught in one of those, in the Multiverse of Madness? Could we get a version of Onslaught coming in? I mean, to me, when it comes to the X-Men or mutants, that was, I think, one of the most powerful threats that I think anyone faced, whether it was the Brotherhood and or the X-Men. That was one of the biggest threats ever, I think. I don't think they should do Apocalypse, not for a long time. Age of Apocalypse, the movie that they did, the X-Men Apocalypse movie, it could have been way better. It could have been done way better. They had the technology to make it look way better, but they didn't. I don't think they should do Phoenix. If the X-Men, if and when they do come back, should they do Phoenix? I don't think so. Because we've done the Dark Phoenix story way too many times. We did it in the original trilogy, right? And then when they did the younger version, they had the Phoenix again.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to give me the Phoenix story, give me the Phoenix story like it happened in the 1990s X-Men cartoon. I like that. Would it fly today? We don't know. I am going to touch on Stargate's question here. What is my opinion on the Ghostbusters 4K Ultimate set that is, he's asking about the Hoopla, because originally it was not going to include 2016. And it's still my opinion that it should not include 2016. Because if you're going to call it the Ultimate Collection, and you want to, I think they should have called it, and other people have said this is not my original thought. Other people have said that they should have called it the Legacy Collection. Ghostbusters 1 and 2, and now Afterlife. That would make sense. Those people who are griping, and I will use the term bitching and moaning, that 2016 Answer to Call should be included in here, and that it was a travesty that it was not. That movie is what we consider a multiverse. Okay? Paul Feig, the director-writer of that movie, went on social media, and he complains how he felt it was a travesty that it wasn't included. Well, in that respect, then you should also make a statement and claim and be upset that real Ghostbusters, Extreme Ghostbusters, and the video game storyline are not included in that set. That would be more of a justified statement than just saying, oh, my movie isn't included, so I don't think that, I think Sony's being they're grossly mistaken, and they don't know what the fans really want. No, you're bitching and moaning because your movie's being left out, and your movie's being left out for very good reason. One, the original actors were relegated to small, crappy cameos. Maybe it was due to scheduling, but none of them felt natural. Okay, having Janine as the concierge of that hotel, okay, I got a chuckle out of that one. Having Ernie Hudson as Patty's uncle who ran a funeral home, and that was his hearse that they used. Okay, I can bite that. But having Bill Murray as the skeptic was a little, it didn't sit right, and also having, Dan Aykroyd playing the cabbie who actually knows what Class 5 is. No, that just, it felt like very bad caricatures of flip side characters of who they really were, for one. The fact that during making Answer the Call, that Paul Feig finished the movie, but then the studio had him go back and make changes. We don't know exactly what those actual changes were. Did it make it worse or did it make it better? We don't know. The whole movie was, in my opinion, I've said this thousands of times before, Answer the Call should have been based in a different city somewhere. It should have been an alternate franchise being made in the same universe as the actual Ghostbusters. Let's say they were setting up shop in San Diego or Seattle or some other city somewhere. That would have flown better. I think that would have sat better with the fans than, oh, we're going to do it in New York City. We're even going to show the original firehouse. You know? To me, for a lot of fans, that was kind of a spat in the face, so to speak. Now that Sony has backpedaled and said it was their plan originally that they were going to include Answer the Call, they're just trying to save face because Paul Feig, he has a large following. I'm not going to talk bad about the person himself. I don't really know him. But let's be honest. If someone steps up and says, hey, why isn't this movie being included? And that person happens to be the writer and director. Doesn't that sit kind of like, oh, this person's crying and moaning because their movie isn't included? Their movie is in a different timeline. Their movie is in a world where Ghostbusters never happened. Okay? So it's just like in the comic books. It's like, okay, if we're going to we want to include Answer the Call, then we need to include maybe some digital comics of the IDW comics where they actually did crossovers with the Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters, Extreme Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters Inc., and Answer the Call. If you're going to do Ultimate, you can't just say, well, why isn't my movie going to be part of this? You have to say, where's the real Ghostbusters? Where's the Extreme Ghostbusters? Where are the IDW storylines? Because there was novelizations of those. There was even storylines where they had Ghostbusters team up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I have the books. I can show you guys. It sits. I mean, I don't know. It just seems like it's a whiny person wanting to be included. That's how I feel about it. I mean, I don't know the person, and from what I hear, he does a lot of good work charity-wise. He helps a lot of charities and fundraisers. But when it comes down to it, it sounds as if he felt like he was slighted. I mean, yes, did his movie underperform? Did it actually make a profit? Maybe not so much. I believe it's only going to be a digital copy that is included. So it's up to the fans if they wish to watch it or not. It's going to be included as part of it without any extra charges. By the way, speaking of charges, Canadian Blu-ray 4K. You are in Canada, are you not?
Yeah.
Okay, I believe on the Canadian version of Amazon, they actually have that currently set at $99. So that may be something you may want to look into in the future because guess what? Amazon here is selling it for $149. Target had it on pre-order. The pre-order is sold out. I missed out on it. So I'm hoping that Amazon's going to follow suit, at least Amazon here, and lower it down at the cost of what everyone else is paying for it. But we'll see what happens. Ghostbusters Afterlife does come on digital. I believe that starts next week. I want to say the 4th or something. So everyone who's watching this, be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. Apparently, there's a lot of extras in it. There's a book included with it. There's deleted scenes. There's behind the scenes stuff from all 3 movies included. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm going to have the digital copy, but I'm still going to want to get that steel book because I think it's going to be pretty awesome, just as a collector. Okay, let's recap. I totally agree. Where is the Ghostbusters cartoon? If it's the ultimate, yeah. I think Sony was just using the word ultimate because there's been past Blu-ray, there's been DVDs of it, there's been Blu-rays of it, there's been a steel collection of it, there's been a lot of other ones. Oh, Stargate says he got it for $88 before it went up in price. Yeah, I missed out on all of that because I was focusing on Christmas gifts for everyone. Yeah, I mean it's the last time they've had the cartoon available in like volumes, but even some of those volumes were not in order. The last time that they actually had the original Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters cartoon, all in one set was the Time Life set, and you're probably talking $300 to $400, maybe $500 on eBay right now for something like that. It would be cool if they could digitally clean up some of that, and give us the real Ghostbusters, or maybe a combined set with the real Ghostbusters and the Extreme Ghostbusters, so that it's one ultimate card, maybe a real ultimate Ghostbusters collection, you could call it, where it includes both. Because the Extreme Ghostbusters cartoon was definitely it's one of my favorites. I mean, it was a different look. That is what really Answer the Call should have been. Should have had maybe some students of Egon's that came together, whether Egon was there or not. Maybe they were students of Ray's that came together, that there was some basis, some connection to the original series, even if it wasn't. Extreme Ghostbusters would have flown better than Answer the Call did. Okay? Because let's be honest, it was a little stereotypical, Answer the Call. And what I mean by that is nothing against the actresses who were featured in the movie, but again, you had one heavyset person. You had one really skinny person with glasses who was the mad scientist of the group. Okay? You had a fast talker in there. I mean, it's just, and then you had the so-called comic relief that knows nothing about the technology, who happens to be African American. It felt a little on the nose, if you ask me. Nothing against the actresses, but I didn't think that. I think one, it was the writing of the script, and like I said, if they would have set this movie in a different city somewhere, it would have flown way better. It would have been more received. If it didn't feel like it was a carbon copy of the original, I think it would have been better. And that's where Ghostbusters Afterlife succeeded. They weren't trying to recreate everything. They said, okay, where did we leave off? Okay, we left off here. Now let's fast forward 30 years. What could have happened over those 30 years? And Jason Reitman, who's not an action movie person, who's not a sci-fi movie person, who writes movies about families. He basically, that's what he did. He wasn't making a Ghostbusters movie. He was making a movie about a family who happened to have a tie to the Ghostbusters. That there was a legacy. So, I mean, that's one of the big differences. Paul Feig, him and Judd Apatow are known for making romance comedies. And they try to make a sci-fi comedy. It was tremendously out of their wheelhouse, respectfully speaking. So, I think that's enough about Afterlife, don't you? Afterlife, or I should say Answer the Call. I'm excited to see where Afterlife picks up next. I mean, already the kids have grown a few years since the movie was actually made. I mean, we know Phoebe is a genius. I mean, with some Ouija board-like guidance from Egon, she was able to finish assembling that one proton pack. And the one thing that always killed me about Afterlife is how the hell were those kids able to work the proton pack so precisely? Because remember the very first time that Egon, Ray, and Venkman fired their proton accelerators? They were all over the damn place.
Yeah.
Unless Egon perfected some kind of targeting within the neutrona wand itself, or there was some kind of dampeners so you weren't all over the place that you could hold it straight. That's the only thing that would make sense. Because the very first time Phoebe fires it, she's firing it perfectly straight, practically. You know, that always that was the one thing that never made sense to me. But that's a minor gripe. But I could see Phoebe being in college, maybe ahead of time. Like, who knows? Maybe her brother is going to college at the same time that she is, because she's such a genius. Maybe she surpassed college. And let's be honest, with Venkman being a professor, I'm sure he can pull some strings. I loved Afterlife, how the end scene pretty much sets up Ernie Hudson as the Nick Fury for the Ghostbusters, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's made his money. And he basically, he's got the firehouse there. He brings the Ecto home because he wants to fix the Ecto one up. And he says that, he's always going to be a Ghostbuster. Well, maybe this is the beginning of Ghostbusters Inc.
Yeah.
Maybe you get Paul Rudd is going to be a new Ghostbuster, and everything kind of comes together. Obviously, I would like to see, maybe the mother is going to be like the new Janine of the firehouse, because she's never been really good with money. So maybe she's going to, do some kind of receptionist type work there. Maybe the kids are going to be Ghostbusters in training. There's obviously going to be a new team thrown together, and I'm going to be curious to see how they do that. So, she's got another question. Yeah, I got another question. What kind of stuff do you collect? Well, I personally collect, a lot of Ghostbusters. I have a lot of different posters. I do some. I'm a big Back to the Future fan. That's the actual USA Today paper that was printed in 2015 as a commemoration for Ghostbusters 2. There's a couple pictures up there. Got a Ghostbusters patch, which is the Back to the Future Ghostbusters patch. Got a picture of me with Christopher Lloyd, the actual Doc Brown. Got my little Ghostbusters collections right there. Got different license plates. I was big into Transformers, but I sold my Transformers about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years, because I was trying to get money together so I can build that big proton pack that you see right up there. Because I'm actually part of a local charity cosplay group here in Buffalo, New York, called the Buffalo Ghostbusters, where we dress up in full gear and we raise money year round for Toys for Tots. Outside of that, Marvel Legends. So I got my Marvel Legends right here. I got a War Machine helmet right there. I'm into Star Wars. Again, Marvel Legends. I do have the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I have some assorted NECA figures. I got Ash vs. the Evil Dead. I have The Crow. I have a small assortment of Funko Pops from all over. I mean, I have the Flash from DC. I have Ready Player One Funko Pops. I have Stripes Funko Pops. Just a whole different collection. I was even collecting Marvel, or rather Masters of the Universe Revelation figures. And also, I have a collection of Batman. So I like a little section of DC. And I have some NECA Back to the Future figures up there. And of course, I got a Power Ranger helmet. A lot of Ghostbuster stuff right at the top up there. I'm pretty much all over the place, to be honest. If it's something that cool and hits me in the heartstrings, I'm going to jump on it. Case in point. What about you, Canadian Blu-ray?
I'm the same as you, kind of, all over the place. Like movies, of course, Transformers, the Black Series, Marvel Legends, the NECA movie Turtles. Also the DC multiverse figures. I just recently started collecting them.
Yeah, I'm kind of stepping away from multiverse right now, personally, because nothing against McFarlane, he does some great work, but enough with the Batman figs.
Yeah.
Oh, we got John Joker, Double J himself. Yeah, we just did the Threezero unbox of the Green Ranger, a 1/6 scale Power Ranger figure. I'm going to be getting a stand for him. I'm going to figure out how we're going to set him up. Oh, there we go. This figure is just bananas. I mean, the detail on the sword. See if we can get it to focus a little bit. There we go. I mean, the figure itself is just, it's awesome. I'm so glad I got this. I'm thinking about getting the Red Ranger one. I'm not too sure. Got to think that over. We'll see what happens. Stargate saying hello to John Joker. John Joker saying, oh, wow, nice, Dave. Great pickup. Yeah, I mean, Green Ranger's always been a favorite of mine. I'm thinking about getting the red one because I think that would be a good piece to go with them. Not sure how I'm going to display them. I'm going to have to do some more rearranging. But, hey, that's the fun in it, right? John Joker, I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great Christmas with the family. Hope the little one's doing well. And I hope you have a great New Year's in case I don't see you. Just be safe, be well, and take care of that family. Stay healthy. Blu-ray showing off his Grimlock. A little jelly at that.
Yeah.
But I have this.
That I haven't ended up picking up yet.
Now this I got not because right now it's going for $85 in the stores. I did not get it for $85. I got it for $50.
Oh, that's not bad.
Target had a sale. However, there were some defects on the sword that comes with them. One side looks perfectly clean, right? The other side is completely scratched up and scuffed up. Came out of the box that way. Well, I emailed Hasbro because I had an issue with that, and I had an issue where a couple, like one of the effect pieces was missing. And they said, well, what we can do is we can, if we have a replacement, we'll send you another one, another Rodimus, or we will send you something of equal value. So I'm waiting on that right now to see what happens. Now, if I do get another one, I'm not going to open up that one. I think I actually, if I get another one, I might do a giveaway for that new one. You know, kind of paying it forward. I'm not trying to get anything extra out of the deal. So we'll see what happens. John Joker says, I'm doing all right. It was good Christmas. Happy New Year to you and your family, Dave, and also the Canadian and his family. Yeah, he's got his little son Rodimus, Hot Rod. So, doing well. We're approaching almost 2 hours here. So I'm going to say we're going to call this a wrap because I need to take care of a few things here. And plus, I am slowly winding down myself. It's been a long, long day. Dave, I just checked Rodimus, and the story has scratches as well. Yeah, I took pictures of everything when I unboxed it and sent it to Hasbro. I just asked them, I said, well, you know, is this common? You know, is this a defect? If, you know, I told them straight out, I wasn't looking for anything out of it. And I just wondered what was going on. And they said, well, you know, their customer service has been really good, at least the times I've interacted with them. So, you know, they said, well, we want everything to be perfect for our customers, and basically said that they'll be sending me something. I mean, don't know when that will be, because obviously with the holidays, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep everyone updated to see what happens. I mean, one time I had a defect. It was, you know, I had the Captain America Worthy, and the hammer was completely like plastic wasn't completely molded all the way, and there was some weird scratches all over it right out of the box. Because when I did an unbox review, I saw that. I even sent them the link to the unboxing so they could see that I was freshly unboxing the package. And they sent me a replacement. They couldn't send me the replacement of that figure, so they sent me Archangel from X-Men. So they sent me another Marvel figure. And like I said before, I had paint application issues with Andros and Astronema, and they wound up sending me the Wardrak and Evo. So each time I do seem to do pretty well, so we'll see what happens. So just want to thank everybody for popping in chat. Anyone who's watching a replay of this, I appreciate you. And please do me a favor, go into the video's description below and check out our YouTube warriors. Those are everyday people like you and me who make some amazing content that you guys don't want to miss out on. So until next time, this is Dave from Dave's Dimension saying keep on busting, and I will always catch you guys on the flip side.